So hi everyone, and welcome to this relaxing yoga class where we're going to work on the shoulders and on the spine. So we're going to move quite slowly in this class, so it might be that you want to keep warm by wearing a jumper and some socks, and I'm going to recommend that you have either a cushion or a block just to raise and elevate your seat. We're going to start today's practice in a comfortable seated position in easy pose, and this is where we're going to use our cushion or our block. So we're going to begin the practice coming into a cross-legged seated position, and just take a moment to focus on the spine. Ideally, we want the spine to be straight, raised and elevated. So we want to place a block or a cushion underneath the seat, and this will just help tilt the pelvis so that the spine can stay strong. What we want to avoid is the pelvis tilting backwards and we're rounding, or maybe we're arching if the pelvis is tilting too far forwards. So what we want to be doing is sitting up straight with a nice straight spine. If you can feel that the spine starts to round and the knees start to lift, place some more cushions or blocks underneath the seat. We're going to spend quite a lot of time in a cross-legged seated position, so that's why it's really important to have this seated pose right. Begin by placing the palms of the hands down onto the knees, and just take a moment to close the eyes. And as you start to close the eyes, start to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. See if you can focus the breath moving in through the base of the nostril and moving out through the base of the nostril. Focusing on the breath moving in through the base of the nostril and exhaling through the base of the nostril. Take a few moments to ground and settle yourself into the practice, letting go of anything that came before that's coming after the practice, and try to center yourself in this moment now. Taking your attention to the crown of the head, keeping the eyes closed. See if you can allow the crown of the head to reach up towards the sky, allowing the spine to lengthen. At the same time, see if you can visualize the tailbone, that bone at the base, the bottom of the spine, rooting down towards the earth. So you're rooting from the base of the spine, you're rising from the crown of the head, helping to lift, elongate and lengthen the spine. Allow the hips to become heavy and ground down into the earth. Taking some deep inhales through the nose and some exhales through the nose. On the next inhale, just gently start to blink open the eyes. And as we begin working on the shoulders and the spine, we're just going to start gently by rolling the head round, by drawing some figure of 8 shapes with the nose. So you're going to draw a figure of 8 shape with the nose, perhaps with the eyes closed. Starting to warm up the muscles of the neck. Starting to feel any tightness, notice any stiffness in any parts of the neck, and just try to move through this as we start to warm up the sternocleidoid muscles and the mastoid muscles in the neck. And you can make that figure of 8 shape as small or as big as that feels nice for you. And perhaps you can start to draw the nose slightly higher towards the ceiling, keeping the eyes closed. Starting to warm up the joints, the vertebra of the cervical spine and the neck. And then slowly coming all the way back to center and starting to blink open the eyes. Really nice. On the next inhale, we take the left fingertips to the left shoulder joint and we start to roll the elbow outwards and round, starting to rotate the shoulder joint, starting to bring synovial fluid into the shoulder joint, massaging that shoulder joint by rolling forwards this time, nourishing the shoulder joint with the blood flow and the synovial fluid, keeping that spine straight, that elongation in the back of the neck and the spine. Remembering to breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the nose, changing direction. And then release the left hand down, left palm to the knee. We're going to do the same with the right. So this time the right fingertips go onto the right shoulder. We start to draw circles and rotate the shoulder joint round, keeping that length, that elongation in the spine and the neck. Changing direction. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Changing direction as many times as you need. Oiling the corners of the torso as we massage and rotate the shoulder. And on the next exhale, let's slowly lower the right hand down onto the knee. For the next inhale, we start to outstretch the left arm out to the side, palm facing forward, thumb pointing upwards towards the sky. We're going to begin to internally and externally rotate the shoulder joint. So you might want to look towards the thumb and just notice and feel the internal and the external rotation of the joint. Once again, keeping that spine elongated and elevated. And start to find a flow with the shoulder. And as you exhale, plant the left hand all the way down. This time outstretch the right hand, the thumbs pointing upwards. Start to internally and externally rotate the shoulder joint. See if you can relax the shoulders down away from the ears, avoiding hunching the shoulders upwards, keeping that spine straight. Feeling the internal, external rotation of the shoulder. Let's take a few more like this, and then slowly just lowering the right hand down. This time we take the right hand on top of the right knee, option 1. Or if there's real openness in the spine and you want a deeper twist, you can take the outside of the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Wherever you are with the right hand, start to rotate the shoulder by bringing the left arm up and round, starting to open the chest and open the shoulder as you take the left arm backwards in large circles. So not only rotating the shoulder, but finding a twist in the spine and opening up the chest. Moving that left hand now forwards. Remembering to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And perhaps you want to start to follow the movement of the hand with the gaze and the nose. And changing direction once more. And on your next exhale, let's lower the left hand this time onto the right knee, and we're going to take it on the other side. Option 1, left hand goes on the right knee. Option 2, if you want a deeper twist and a deeper opening, take the outside of the left palm to the outside of the right knee. Wherever you are, let's start to open out the shoulder joint by rolling the right arm, the right hand forwards, feeling that twist in the spine, that opening in the shoulders. And once again, see if you can maintain the length in the spine. So we want to avoid a rounding or arching as we roll, keeping that really straight spine. Breathing in and breathing out and changing direction. And perhaps you want to start to follow the hand with the nose and with the gaze. Starting to also warm up the cervical spine, that's the top of the spine, the neck. Let's take 2 more, changing direction. And then on the next exhale, let's lower the hands all the way down. We're going to move into a seated cat-cow. So I'm just going to change my position. So we're going to place the hands on the knees, the spine is straight. As we inhale, we start to arch the spine by pushing the chest forward. And as we exhale, we start to round the spine by bringing the shoulders forward and looking down towards the navel, towards the belly button. So the hips stay rooted and grounded, but the shoulders and the torso and the spine starts to open as you inhale. And as you exhale, starting to round the spine. So we call this a seated cat-cow. Try to start moving with the breath. So as you exhale, you start to round. As you inhale, you radiate the chest forwards. And start to move with the breath. It might be really nice and slow. Perhaps you want to close the eyes here to really feel the opening of the chest and the rounding in the spine. And then coming all the way back to center. We're going to move now into some small circles with the torso, something we call a Sufi grind. So as we inhale, we're going to take the torso over towards the right. We're going to keep the hips grounded and rooted, and we're going to start to push the chest forward, arching the spine. And as you exhale, moving over towards the left, we're going to start to round the spine and look towards the navel. So we're drawing circles of the torso in the head, but we're keeping the hips and the legs exactly where they are, rooted down into the earth. And remember, we're moving with the breath, so we might be moving much more slowly than we're used to. We're working through the muscles, through the vertebrae of the spine. And then changing direction. Working through all the different joints and muscles in the spine. And taking a few more on your own. Really nice. And then just coming back to neutral, back to center. As we come into neutral, just start to honour the natural curves of the spine. So although we're elongating the spine, just try to find a moment in stillness with your natural curves in your spine. Close the eyes and just start to visualise the spine lengthening, the crown of the head reaching upwards, the tailbone reaching down, breathing through the base of the nostril. Really nice. So on the next inhale, we're going to start to draw the left arm all the way back, and we're going to start to draw circles just as we did before. But this time we're going to start to incorporate both arms together. So as the left arm is moving, start to incorporate the right arm and see if you can start to move the shoulders at the same time, changing direction as much as you need, as much as you want. So start to feel the opening in the shoulders. And perhaps you want to start to use the head to follow the movement of the hands. Breathing in as you rise and exhaling as you lower down. So not only are we opening the shoulders, but we're also starting to warm the muscles and lengthen the muscles of the spine. Really nice. Let's take one more like this. And then as you exhale, come and place the hands onto the knees. So for the next one, we're going to take the hands out wide, and you might just want to change the crossing of the legs just to relax the hip. So palms are facing forward and we're opening the chest out wide. We take a deep inhale, looking upwards towards the sky. As we exhale, we start to create a hugging motion where we take the left hand on top and we start to hug the body, look down towards the feet. Round the spine. As we inhale, we start to arch the spine, take the palms of the hands, this time up towards the sky. As we exhale, take the right hand on top, start to round the spine and look towards the feet. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhaling to open the chest, take the palms facing upwards, looking up. Exhale, left hand on top. Taking a few more in your own time. Warming up the spine and the shoulders. And then as you exhale, just start to lower the hands down onto the knees. Take a moment in stillness with the eyes closed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really nice. So we're just going to slowly blink open the eyes and we're going to move into a tabletop pose, into cat-cow. So you're just going to remove your cushion or your block and you're going to come onto all fours. So in tabletop, we want the hands directly underneath the shoulders and we want the knees directly underneath the hips. And as we start to inhale, we're going to start to move from the tailbone, this bone at the bottom of the spine, and we're going to start to arch the spine by tilting the tailbone towards the sky and just arching the spine, radiating the chest, the heart space forward. So here we've got an anterior tilt in the pelvis. And as we exhale, we push firmly into the hands. We ripple from the tailbone and start to round the spine and look towards the stomach, the belly button, creating a posterior tilt in the pelvis. Inhale to arch the spine. Exhaling to round, creating that rippling motion from the tailbone. Inhaling to arch, anterior tilt in the pelvis. Exhaling, rippling from the tailbone, look towards the belly button, posterior tilt in the pelvis. Start to move in your own time with the breath. As you round the spine, see if you can push firmly into the pads of the hands to protect the wrists and really open the shoulders. Moving with the breath, really gentle movements. And then your next exhale, let's come all the way back to tabletop pose. So for the next move, we're going to move back into what might feel like a bit of a child's pose, but we're going to start to create some waves. So we take a deep inhale here in tabletop, and as we exhale, we lower the bum back down towards the heels, as if we were coming into child's pose. Then as we inhale, we rise back up and we come into tabletop. But we start to ripple through the spine. So we arch the spine as we go back. And we round the spine as we come forward. Arch the spine as we go back. Round the spine as we go forward. Arching the spine as we move back. Rippling from the tailbone. Perhaps wanting to close the eyes here. Moving with the breath. And then your next exhale, you're going to slowly come all the way back to tabletop pose. So we're going to move into our final shoulder opener here. And we're going to move into something called thread the needle. So as we inhale, we're going to push firmly into the right hand and we're going to lift the left hand off the floor, palm is facing down. So we're still in that tabletop pose, but this time as we exhale, we thread the left hand underneath the right shoulder. In that space underneath the right shoulder, we take the left shoulder to the floor and we take the left side of the face to the floor. From here, we push firmly into the right hand to start to open the shoulder. Option to stay here with the right hand on the floor, or option to outstretch the right fingertips in front of you and come on to the right fingertips to open out that right shoulder. Wherever you are, take a few deep inhales and a few deep exhales. So we're creating an opening in the shoulders, but also in the twist in the spine. We want to try to keep equal hips here, so we want to try to keep a balance in the pelvis, so we're not tilting to one side, we're keeping a balanced pelvis. Take a deep inhale in here, and as you exhale, you're going to push into that right hand and come all the way up to tabletop pose. Take a moment to wiggle out the hips from side to side, to release the spine, to release the hips. Then we come to press into the left hand, and we lift the right hand off the floor, palm is facing downwards. Take a deep inhale, push into the pads of the left fingers, and as you exhale, we start to cross the right hand underneath the left shoulder into that gap. We place the right shoulder on the floor, the right side of the face goes on the floor, and we start to close the eyes. Push firmly into the left hand to start to open out the spine and the shoulders. Or option 2, we stretch the left hand in front of us and we come onto the left fingertips. Take a deep inhale. And wherever you are, with each exhale, allow you to fall deeper into this stretch. Allow the exhale just to relax you deeper and allow you to fall just into a deeper sense of relaxation. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. And if the left hand is further outstretched, then just bring it back next to the face. Slowly push into the left hand as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's come all the way back to tabletop pose. Wiggle out the hips from side to side. Wiggle out the head and the neck, perhaps wiggle out the shoulders. And then very slowly we're going to sit the bum back down onto the heels as we come to finish the practice in child's pose, taking whichever child's pose feels good for you, relaxing the forehead down onto a block, a book, or the mat, or perhaps taking the hands behind you. Take a moment in stillness in your child's pose. Allow the breath to guide you deeper into this relaxation. With each exhale, allow the hips to feel slightly heavier, sinking down into the earth. If the arms are outstretched in front of you, feel the opening in the armpits, the lengthening in the spine. If the arms are behind you and palms are facing upwards, allow the forehead just to relax and massage the vagus nerve down into the mat. The vagus nerve in the center of the forehead. Stimulating the vagus nerve. Allow yourself just to relax and feel that deeper sense of relaxation. Relax the wrists down. Relax the shoulders. And relax the hips. And take a few moments in stillness in your child's pose. Take as long as you need in your child's pose today. The longer the better. And whenever you feel ready after a few minutes, you can slowly come all the way back up and take whatever you need as you move on into your day. I hope you've enjoyed this relaxing shoulder and spine practice. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you.